Good morning. Welcome to the Obachanchatter. Today is November the 7th, 2024. It's Friday, cloud day, where I'm at anyway. But I saw this a couple hours ago. Well, maybe about 3 or 4 hours ago. And now I guess I'm ready to go ahead and do the review. This is I'm here to recap. I never said I was here to what I was here to recap. Here to recap Real Housewives of Orange County, season 18 reunion, part one. This is pretty good. Pretty good. Had a couple of irritants though. Let me just tell you the people who got well, you'll know who got on my nerves. Emily to me was the most over the top. I thought Tamara was gonna get on my nerves. Emily really got on my nerves. I didn't know who was the host, fucking Andy or her. You understand me? So anyway, listen. Andy first starts off by, saying hello to all the ladies, and he congratulates them because the episode that they're filming, which was filmed on a Sunday, which is new for them because I don't think they ever filmed on a Sunday before, or that I know of. It's the 100th season of the Real Housewives franchise. Okay, so he goes around the room. Start with Tamara because she's sitting next to it's Tamara and Shannon that's next to Andy. And he told Tamara last time he seen her, she looked ugly and crazy. And she said because she has a lazy in the brow lift, but she's doing fine. Asked Emily was she still working out 7 days a week, and you can tell that she not, because I can tell that she ain't, or she stopped taking Ozempic one. Um, she said no, not as much, but she got Shane to train. Then he comes to train Shane once a week, and they showed a little shot of Shane on a treadmill. He looking pretty good. He done lost some weight already. I think if Shane lose some weight, you gonna have to. If Shane lose some weight, I'm just sidebar. It's gonna be over for him and Emily. I'm just telling you because I don't think he gonna want her, and I think if he lose too much weight, he gonna have to kill her because he ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Oh, you don't love me, say, oh, you don't make it. And I don't want to hear that shit next night, season 19. You can keep her. So he asked Heather how the construction was going in her place, and she was like, "Oh, we're in the middle of it, you know, construction. I don't know. I ain't never had nothing built from the ground up, so or remodeled. So I guess it is time consuming and costs a lot of money." He asked uh, uh, Heather. I said, all right. Oh, he asked Heather. Talk to Heather. Then he asked, and he said, speaking of real estate, asked Gina how real estate was doing, and she says good. She just closed the house the other day, and she get ready to close one on Monday, which would be tomorrow. Or she said one day she closed one last week, and she closed one on Monday. Then asked Shannon how she was doing. He told her that she looked good and healthy and happy that she looked good, and she did. She looked much better. And then he asked it no, and then he asked Katy, was she ready to be there? And she was like, you know what I mean? Yeah, she guessed. So it starts already. So And so he said, let's start. And I think he started with Tamara first. And he talked about how hard that she was on, how hard the time that she gave Shannon this season. And she was telling us why she did it because Shannon had been drinking and she had that DUI. And and she said for 10 years, we've been talking about how I drank. And Shannon said, well, we've been talking about it for 10 years because for 10 years you open up your damn mouth, but not so true, Shannon. It's not Tamara does, but she not the only one that chime in on her drinking. Everybody kind of do. And then if you watch this reunion, if anybody talk to Shannon or I got 191 wonderful subscribers. One of them could know Shannon. Do y'all see the stark difference in how she looked? I mean, I know it's been 10 years, But look how drinking when she was with John, how bad she started doing all the drinking shit. Look how bad it aged Shannon to now. Actually, all of them aged. Yeah, but they look like they aged a little bit more than 10 years to me. I don't know if this is the melon or lack of, but they look like they're a little bit older. But then you could tell worry and stress had really worn on Shannon, and she even had a facelift. She's still as attractive. She was real cute when she forgot off the shop. Forgot how pretty she was or how attractive she was. With a little narrow face. So anyway, Tamara was like she was still drinking and she was still doing this, and so they showed the montage of Tamara just riding Shannon's ass the whole season. You got drunk, screaming at her. You got drunk. You never stop drinking. Is that what people do? Is that drink then go drive drunk? You know all that smart ass shit. Y'all can't remember all of it. Anything that was fucked up about drinking and driving, Tamara threw it at Shannon. So she said, it was because I care. No, no. You was doing that shit and you finally said the truth because you was mad. And and then I think you want to tell her why you mad. I wanted to express to her the reasons why I was mad with her. And sidebar, if they didn't say it, I don't think they said it, but maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe longer than that, maybe like a month ago. No, longer than that. Oh my God, it's longer than that. Maybe about a year or so ago, 2 years maybe. I don't know how long Tamara was gone, but Tamara said when Shannon left the show, Shannon stopped being her friend, and that really hurt her. And I don't really think that really hurt you as bad. I think what really probably hurt Tamara is that Shannon stopped talking to her, and she didn't want that to happen because she wanted Shannon to be a segue for her to get back on the show and always stay in tune with what's going on the show to me. Because Tamara is nobody's real friend. She will not be your friend, not unless she can get something out of it. And then you hear this shit, y'all, that she's saying. She's sitting here saying, I thought she was dead. Oh, they show her the whole montage of what the hell she did to this girl, whole season 18, all the way up to here. And her thing is, what did she say? She was like, I just care, you know. It was just worrying me. I was there every step of the way. Shannon said, "Girl, you was not there for me because when I had my DUI the next day, you flew to Scotland." And she said, "I went somewhere for a month. What would have helped you though?" Sidebar: You don't have to prove shit to nobody, Shannon, because you're a grown ass woman, and you don't have to. But all this, you was gone for a month, had drug tests and shit. Where's your receipt? You ain't gotta have your records, but you can have where the fuck you was at. I mean, you can from the date of it and the name of the place or whatever, and your name. And you ain't gotta let all of us see it. You could have just handed it to Andy. But you, like you said, you tired of explaining yourself to people and understand that. Because even I do that. Because sometimes I find myself actually doing it with my grandkids. I'm sidebarring still. Listen, well, I know y'all want to hear this shit, but I'm just saying. I understand what you're saying, Shannon. I agree with you. Sometimes my grandkids come and I say, "Oh, Obachan, can I have this?" No. Well, why? What? So, well, you can have it because if I let you eat candy before you have your dinner, you won't finish your dinner. Well, I mean, I'm gonna eat it. I said, no, won't you eat your food, then have your dinner? And I'm standing, I was like, why the am I sitting here talking to this 3 year old about how the hell I want him to eat? No. And I can remember my mama, or when I was younger, and somebody as an adult, and I asked them for some shit, and they say no. I ain't sit there and be like, well, why? Well, how come? Well, whose is it? No, none of that. None of that. So I had to teach myself, because see, I'm like, I'm not doing this with no kid, but you will do it with a kid. You know why? Because a kid will do it with you. So you have to be the adult and turn this off and go to, oh, just don't even. And so they make it worse though. They stop at the why, just turn them off. Overtime, why? Overtime, how come I can't? Overtime. So I tried to ignore them, right? And then after about the 50th time of calling my name, I kind of look back at them. Anyway, y'all gonna know what I'm saying. You ain't gotta tell them shit, Shannon. It's your business. So anyway, I'm sorry if you had to fast forward to that part. Um, she said she don't have to defend herself. So anyway, Emily chimes in. Yeah, I mean, Tamara, why don't you just say you sorry? So Tamara said, I am. I'm very sorry. I was just watching her do this, and Shannon said she can't do it. But she said, but I didn't say but you should have, because what you said was, Shannon, I'm sorry, but I was watching you just drink away, and you had the DUI, and it just, I was just, and but there wasn't no but. You butted that shit all the way out the door, the whole apology. So, Emily was like, she accepted. So first, what's her name? Shannon was like looking at Emily like, apologize to who? And even Tamara and then Emily was like, no, 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 Tamara, you apologize. So everybody kind of giggled at that shit because they was like, what? Shannon was like, what she gonna apologize to you for? So when Tamara said that shit, Shannon was like, okay, it's cool. And Emily was like, well, she said she was sorry. So Shannon said, I accept your apology, but I don't want to be your friend. Somebody finally learned how to put this shit to bed. Yep, but I don't want to be your friend. Daddy. And Tamara's like, well, okay. No, that shit bothered her. No, it bothered her. Because somebody tell me they ain't want to be my friend. I don't know. I'll take that back. So anyway, because when Tamara was talking, she was just doing that same old shit. I saw you drinking, you would call me up and you would be drunk. And she was like, you're not going to do that. That's not what you're going to do because you're lying. And you trying to say I'm lying. That didn't happen. So she was just like, well, okay, Shannon, okay, okay. So anyway, Andy asked Gina about that DUI shit and how she had a lot of compassion for her and stuff. She said, yeah, I know. She said, first, I wanted to ring fucking Shannon neck, which told me somebody's gonna come take my fucking kids, but wasn't nobody coming to get my kids. And she said, and now I know that she walked in my same shoes. She know how this shit feels. So I have empathy for her because just like me, I thought that was some shit that would never happen to me. And I'm sure Shannon thought the same thing. And once you get out there with humiliation and embarrassment and shit, say what you gotta say. And then Shannon came to me and she apologized. And then here comes fucking Emily. You see? And she meant it. Shannon was very sincere. She was crying. She was very remorseful. Who the fuck asked you, Emily? Okay, let me leave that alone. So she said, I didn't want to look at Shannon first at first. But she said, I'm cool with her now. I got no problem with Shannon. I love her. I support her. And they said she's doing a great job. The women been sitting beside her, and Emily did too. They said she's doing a good job. And then Tamara was like, well, I didn't know. I didn't know where you was at. And I was like, Tamara, why the fuck would you know where she was at if she don't fuck with you? Why would she call you and tell you about her recovery? She don't fuck with you. When we started the show, I didn't know where she was at. None of your damn business. So anyway, Tamara was like, she in therapy because she's trying to figure out how's that going for you. I think she only went one day. Well, y'all know, sidebar, she was 2 weeks ago. She said her therapist said that she was autistic. I ain't really like that shit because I got a son that's autistic. He's 25 years old. He is a law-abiding citizen. He don't fuck with nobody. He has empathy. He care about people. Now he got his artistic traits and shit, but he ain't nothing like Tamara. He don't fuck with people. He don't meddle with nobody. He mind his own business, and he expect you to mind yours. Now, when you don't jump out of the line, he could be a Tamara on your ass, but not with his mouth, but probably with these. But he don't never had to do that type of shit because he's nice. Everybody that encounters him has never said the shit that they say about you, Tamara. So you take that shit back off of artistic people, whoever your therapist is. And I don't think you can go. He had to get tested for months. He a child. He got diagnosed at about 2.5, maybe three. At no, three, three. I ain't gonna bullshit you. As soon as my son had that joint vaccination, that measles, mumps, rubella, that one they give you like five at one time, man, a week after that shit, he had stopped whatever that growth pattern that they on, that that pattern that you're on, he just got to a point where it was just like he was failure to thrive. He was not catching up to where he was at. But you know, like I told y'all, you heard if you ain't been here before, he lived by himself and has been since he been 20 years old, and he'll be 25 this year. So, amen, amen, amen. So let me get back to what I was talking to, because I ain't want this shit to last all day, and I'm making it last with my sidebars. So Andy asked Heather about that bullshit about that picture, right? Because somebody asked, the question was asked, the viewer question was, how Shannon and Heather getting along since Heather did that bullshit. So Shannon said, yeah, I'm really struggling with that. She said, ever since that shit kicked off, where, she was like, oh, Shannon, she was like, good acting. And then Heather smart ass gonna come back, well, don't tell them, don't put that on my IDB. I wasn't acting. Um, it's when I heard the story from the person. I was hearing it third person, but they hear it in first person. I was like, oh, Shannon. Whatever. I don't really believe that too much, Heather. I think you and Tamara was doing what y'all was doing when y'all was on y'all little stand, sitting up in that room, talked about all the shit that y'all know about Shannon or the stories y'all know about Shannon, like y'all was doing about Gina. I hope they watch that shit. See how you and Tamara was talking about them. So anyway, Heather said, yeah, I thought she had a problem with drinking. And then she was like, and Heather said, well, Shannon said, well, first of all, it was you, Heather, who said that you wasn't going to say shit about Shannon in that picture. And I wouldn't have given a fuck if Tamara told me and if Tamara showed me the picture. Shut your damn mouth. Shut up. Whatever that transpired between you and Heather, you and Shannon, Tamara and them ain't need to know that. Now, what you could have did was after you found that shit out, is come back and tell your friend Shannon, hey Shannon, that thing you thought that was just in between me and you? Why Tamara know about it? Because she told the girls. Yeah, that's what I would have did. Yeah. hmm Tamara, I didn't. What are you talking about? I'd be like, nah. But everybody think you got a drinking problem though. Even I thought you had one, especially when you was with John. Really, Sharon. I thought when you was with John, he had you drinking too much, and I think the way he wanted to keep his life so. I think he had you stressed out more than anything, because you couldn't talk about him on the show, and the ladies couldn't say nothing about him. I mean, he just made your life too zip top. So anyway, like I said, Tamara wasn't around. She was in Scotland doing traders. I think her ass got sent home. Is she the one that dogged out Larsa or some shit? Because Larsa said that's what happened to her. I'm watching Villain too, and she sent Teresa, put Teresa on the hit list, and Teresa Junior. She was mad as a motherfucker. Whatever her fucking new name is. And Teresa was mad as fuck. She was like, ooh, Lost is a dirty snake. So anyway, um, that's what Shannon 30 day thing. So Tamara said she was drinking. So anyway, okay, I did the Heather was acting. So Heather Shannon said she still don't trust Heather. Heather said, well, if you don't trust me, then but nothing, don't tell me nothing then, and then we'll build the trust from there till you feel comfortable with it. I was like, you ain't gotta worry about it. I ain't never telling you shit. I wouldn't tell none of them hoes nothing. Um, so they started on oh yeah, Heather was like, yeah, when I heard it on Jeff Lewis, and then I thought it was okay. It's not, it was two girlfriends talking to each other. It's not, it ain't never okay. Especially after you say you ain't gonna say nothing. Why the fuck is you talking? So I thought just because you said something on Jeff, I could talk about it. I'd be like, I ain't talk about it. Jeff brought that shit up. So, but why was you talking about it anyway? Like how you asked Kathy, why the fuck do she care about you having pictures with paparazzi, whether you paid or didn't pay, or in the picture or not in the picture or whatever? Why the fuck do you care if John heard the accident or not? What does it matter if he heard the accident now? All he knows the police knocked on his door and said, "Is can you watch this dog? It belongs to," and he know Archie. And then he said, "Where's Shannon?" And I'm sure the policeman said she probably was in an accident or something. And you know what he did? John went there and took his ass to sleep. Okay, so end of that. So why do you care? Did you hear it? The fuck? If a tree fall in the woods, do you hear it? Is that what they said was in the forest? I don't know. I got sick of that shit, but I got tired of Emily interrupting Shannon. Just say you sorry. You said you was sorry to Gina. Shannon, yeah, I take your apology, Tamera. It just ain't gonna be your friend. That's what Shannon told her. So anyway, it's time to go to the bathroom or take a break or something because it was just too heavy. So they said they need a break. So they go take a break, right? And I was like, when they came back from the break, they still talking about pooping problems. Oh, Shannon gave me some Cola Max, and then then Emily, I think I got. Whenever I travel, it messes up my pooping. I don't give a fuck, y'all. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about. I'm not one of the people want to hear about your period or you got a shit or none of that. I only want to hear about your period. Not unless you looking for a pad or a tampon. And then all this gray hair in my head, I wish you would. I'd be like, girl, get out of here. You know I ain't got no damn. You know. Okay. I do this with my hand. Ever since they gave me that graft in my arm, I do this thing with my hand because it feel like it feel like I had went to, you know how you go to the dentist and they numb your mouth and then start weighing off. That's what my hand feel like most times now. So anyway, it's time to get on Katy ass next, boy. Let me sidebar this. They ripped you a girl. This was a hard. Woo! I hope this the last day they in your ass, cause Katy. They tore your ass up, Katy. And I kind of like you. I kind of like you, but the shit that they saying, I told my subscribers and my viewers that shit probably about the second episode, maybe about the second or the third episode. I told y'all that shit that she got somebody arrested, and she do lie, cause that's not what the fuck happened. That's not what happened. The shit that I understand what you were saying, Emily. Emily said no. Was it Heather? No. Emily said no, 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 no. Let us tell it, cause you might not tell it how it's supposed to be told, and she didn't. She was lying. The version that Heather said, that's what really happened. She was texting and somebody seen her. The man that saw her got very upset because he lost somebody that he loved in an accident from somebody texting. And he wanted her to stop. He was real upset that she was texting. There was kids in the car. And so it pissed her off. So she started following his ass with her kids in the car, them same little ones. My kids were in the back of the car and he was filming us and they were so afraid. And then he got in front of us and slowed down and he crashed her. There was none of that shit was in the report. The report was she got behind this motherfucker and followed him all the way to his house. And he was afraid. So he got out of his car taping her. And when he was taping her, I think she was calling the police. And whatever that Karen story is, because you kind of like a little bit like you acting like a Karen. And she said the police told her to calm down. He'd tase her, but no, you was calm. They told that man to calm down. He was upset that you had followed him to his house. And they tased him. They threw him to the ground. He got hurt. And he got locked up, and all that shit. Where they sent it to your ex-husband's house. They sent your paperwork to the ex-husband's house. I don't know. That could be true because whatever's on your driver's license, that's where they usually send your citations and shit, or they send somebody to serve you. I think. Because that's the address you got on record. So anyway, you wind up being in default. So the man won the judgment. And she was like, "Oh, my lawyer said, did you know about this?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know." Okay, whatever. Hmm. Don't be my doctor, please don't. Most likely a scam. I love them. I like to send them a message. I'm on my way. Anyway, hopefully they won't call back. So anyway, oh, her and Heather was getting into it. Her and Katy, I mean, Katy and Heather was getting into it. Heather said, it's just something about you. She said, why would I? And they was clowning her too. Because one of the viewer question was, why you think your friend is the only person that run paparazzi in California? And they all kind of giggled and laughed, especially Emily. She thought that shit was real funny. Because, you know, she trying to win Heather. She trying to make sure she's safe with Heather since Katie's daughter went and said that shit that Emily knows she said Heather's mean to her. So, or whatever that shit them kids said, they heard that shit from um what's her name? They heard that shit from Heather and they heard that shit from Gina because Heather and Gina sit around and talk about no Gina and Emily, I'm sorry, sit around and talk about Heather. So that shit that them kids said, that shit was really said. Y'all don't care what you say. I don't think that Katie grown ass daughter gonna make up a lie on some no little boys. And they don't even know Heather. Yes, they do. Put a picture up there of me and Heather. I bet you they pick who the fuck Heather is. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, talking about Katie lying, man, and then that's what Gina called her. So they start asking her. So anyway, she just got too much shit going. They was like, "What about that lawsuit?" And the lawsuit, and I didn't know that Jen and somebody else was in there, and what's her name? Nosy ass lawyer Emily was in there when that dude was showing the golf shots or whatever. So she was like, I never even met this person before. So I hope it wasn't a man that was sitting there at the table talking to her. That's the friend that she ain't never met. And she said it ain't had nothing to do with her. She has been dismissed from that. So then that's when they said, then Emily get in her ass too. She was like, where you live at? And she said, I live in Orange County. She said, but then you live in San Diego. She said, I moved from San Diego. She said, but then you moved to San Diego, then moved back in. She said, no, I never moved to San Diego. She said, so you did go to San Diego because you just said that your father-in-law was sick before he died. Y'all moved there, and then you said that you bought your house wherever you was living at, wherever you came from. And she said, "No, I didn't." And she said, "Yes, you did because Gina showed me the text message. She specifically asked you, Are you buying your house? Do you own your home?" And you said yes. She said, "No, I had a rent to own, and they wanted 2 months rent up front, 2 years rent up front." And we was like, hell no. So we didn't get that. Well, so you was in San Diego. Yes, I was there for 2 months. Well, didn't you move back there and then you moved back here? But you did move because you're not in the same house you wasn't in Orange County because you were in Orange County and I opened up a different house. So when I went on the podcast or the Instagram and said whatever I said, you went and made a video trying to make it seem like I was lying about something. She was like, girl, so then she was back on Heather, and Heather said, I got to tell you what happened. First, when I met you, I supposed to have met you in the driveway, and she was like, there. The first story, she's like, that's not one of the stories. She said, first, and I'm talking. The second story is you met me by the bar. She said, that's the original story. I met you by the bar, and we were standing by Camille and somebody else, and Camille and some other housewife. And she said, no, I didn't, because when I was at the party, I didn't even see Camille. And then the third one was when we was at a group of people, somebody said your name, and I pretended like I didn't know you or acknowledge you. And the whole time she was like, "Oh my God, this was Katie. Katie, you gotta hear Katie under her breath. Oh my God, oh God." She said, "I don't understand. Why is it?" She said, "I've never on my kid's life take a picture." So Katie just finally came out and said, because she said it when he was asking what they wanted to amend, what kind of shit they wanted to happen. And she did say, Katie, when it started, that she wanted to clear up a few things that she had misspoke or just said wrong. So it had to be one of them because she was like, you never did that. It was somebody that was close to you that paid for somebody to take your picture. And I don't know. I don't give a fuck who took a picture. So then they was asking her how she knew about it. So she said she had a tick. She seen the TikTok. And Emily and Gina was like, them motherfuckers is what's them two crows? It's two crows that wear straw hats and a bow tie. If anybody know who them two crows is, you gotta be around my age. They a cartoon, like something around Looney Tunes, and it's two crows. They're always together, talking smack. Well, anyway, that's what they remind me of. So anyway, you ain't see that on there because so this one, this person, you did not see this. She said no, the paper, the thing. I don't know, Katie. And that's what Gina said. None of your stories, they're not consistent. So I don't really feel comfortable around you. And it was like, yeah, I got the lawyer in me. Your stories just don't, like you're buying the house and then you're not buying the house. And then they got on her about her goddamn kids. I was like, damn, y'all know it's her first season. Girl, you should just back up. Because all these hoes just was studying on you. So, Heaven was like, well, guess what? You that's kind of like your thing though, right? Like saying shit about people that ain't true. She was like, oh, God. And then Shannon was like, what's her talking about? Shannon, you been out the loop because they think you've been drinking. So, so Emily, we read some things. And that's when they were talking about this cop shit that she got this man said this she got somebody falsely arrested and shit and he got hurt and he got arrested in front of his neighbors and blah 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 blah. And she real messy. So they was asking her about would she go to Korea yet? And she was like, no, I ain't go to Korea because my father-in-law got sick. So then they was asking her, they was like, so what's up with that? That's when they started on that house shit. Before they started on the house, they started on their kids like, um, where your children? Well, this one he liked to stay with his father, and I see him during breaks at school, and she named all the breaks. And what about this one? Well, this one he 18, so the father. I don't. Do they all have the same father? I don't know. One of them he wouldn't sign the paper for him. You don't need to see the paper no more. So now that's why you see pictures of him. So I said she got four children. So well, where's this kid now? All our my kids is in Orange County now. So I said, well, why you didn't have custody of them? So she was like, what do you mean? So, cause here go the lawyer, cuz girl, and the state of California, you can only lose your kids for two reasons: either you give them up or you're unfit. Which one was you? Well, I don't understand. Why would he have legal of them when that's just decision making? And then Katie's like, listen, I don't listen. I ain't had no goddamn money. He got them because I couldn't afford to take care of them. But when I could get them, I got them. And it was like 18 months in. And the 18 months that I couldn't, she wasn't talking to him like that, but the 18 months I didn't see my children. I saw them all the time. I was like, how you do that? You ain't had no fucking money though. But okay. And then you on this exercise. I hate to talk about my ex-husband. And I don't think he like you to talk about his ass either. So I don't know what's up with that, but you dislike him so much. How was you able to see your kids, but he had custody of them? I don't get it. Not unless you had visitation. But I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it alone because it's like I feel I like you, but your shit's kind of like what Gina say. Everything you say kind of sketchy. And Heather said, "Yeah, just you have no credibility." So she was like, "Okay, okay. I'm glad that's okay for your ass. No credibility." So when they was fucking with her though, I do like that Jen is a real friend. Jen was like, leave her alone. Just if y'all feel if something feels sketchy, just fucking ask her. You got a question, just ask her about it. She said, for every incident where it don't seem like to you, she can line that shit up. Just ask her. Well, she just seemed like she's sketchy to me. So then, woo, I'm going because when Jen, she got to be my favorite, y'all. She my favorite. Jennifer Petulio, Pulio, whatever the hell her name is, girl. I love you. Don't let these hoes turn you into something you ain't. So anyway, when they said they seen that shit in the paper, I'm like, I saw it in the paper. That's not what they said. She said, we don't believe your story. So the police are lying. So I was just like, man, leave her the fuck alone. She got busted. So just let her be. She be sharper next time, but she just keep her fucking mouth shut next season and stick to her. You got enough story Katy did not fuck with nobody else. And she did apologize for Gina. She said, I was feeling like you set me up. And I was feeling like Gina, that Tamara was trying to make you mad at Gina. And, I'm glad you apologized to her. Because I had to say, I just don't believe in digging up stuff. And then somebody said it in the thing. Somebody said, somebody digging up stuff. And Emily said, if it's public, hey, my phone just won't stop ringing. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to talk to somebody that, you know what? I need to get rid of this damn house phone. That's what I need to do. Oh, I think this is my cousin. What it said, you just have to take a message. Man, it's my people. I'm supposed to be going to Baltimore in a couple of days, but I ain't got time doing oh my God, I act like I ain't doing my review. Okay, I'm sorry. So, Shannon, Emily said you ain't gotta dig up stuff. You can just find this public record, but y'all digging. Y'all not just, it ain't just sitting here and coming across the news screen. Y'all Googling shit. Yeah, you looking. So anyway, this was ridiculous. So when they first started this and Andy was talking to Emily, and he asked Jen something, and oh, they intent, and Jen said, I don't know, I want to fix what's wrong with me and Emily. Emily gonna say, it's nothing, there's nothing there. Girl, you is slam jealous of her. For I don't know, maybe I don't know, I think you just jealous. You jealous of her aesthetic. I think you jealous of me, even though you think her Ryan ain't shit. I think you jealous of that ain't shit man with his woman, because how he always want to be around her, and he always picking her up, and always in her face. And you and Shane don't got none of that. I think you just got a hard on for her. I think you want to kiss her. No, I'm just playing, but you don't like her. Yeah, but that was fucked up. I had to say, falsely accusing people is your thing, Katy. Emily, I don't believe your story. And then I think it was Shannon who said, she said, they do a lot of investigating around this motherfucker. So Andy did a did a shot, what's the name, show a clip of Heather talking to Andy. And she said, people just digging up people. He said, what were we just talking about there in the room? She was like, yeah, but I ain't talking about digging. I'm just talking about, if it's just out there. So this is the part right here where Emily was all in her business. You ain't no legal custody. You gotta be unfit. So this when they get on. Oh yeah, Katie started crying about her kids and shit. That's a Karen move. I'm just gonna say, Junior, girl, your kids is grown, and that shit was 10 years ago. And you still traumatized. You might need you some therapy. But lo and behold, she always surprises me. Heather, rigid ass, get up and walk over there to Katy. And she said she's sorry about that. She didn't know that shit happened to her kids. You should have kept reading. No, I'm just playing. That takes some big girl draws to do that. Heather, after she pissed your ass off so bad, she had you swearing on your children. Yeah. I'm glad I don't know. Heather is saying she's sorry you went through that, but that don't mean that she gonna that bitch your friend. No, 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 no. Sound like Uber. So anyway, they started talking about Jen, and Jen said this shit was happening a long time ago. Her husband ain't had nothing to do with it, and then that's when Emily said, "Yes, he did, because I studied the case extensively." So he asked Jen to explain. She said she can, and Emily said, I can. It was 16, 17 million, something like that. Went to Ryan's account, and Ryan would get the money out of the account, and he would get chips, and they would gamble with the chips. And him and his best friend lost $12 million. And they took 32 trips. Why would Ryan go to Las Vegas 32 times? His friend is a professional gambler. Ryan ain't in trouble because he was doing it. He just did immunity. He was not doing it. He did not tell on his friend. Okay, Jen, I ain't gonna tell you I know how immunity work because I ain't never had to have it, and I ain't never had to been involved in nobody in no case that needs immunity. So I think it kind of worked like how the California lawyer says. Oh my God, I can't forget this part when Jen tells Emily she read that her in-laws finance her whole life. I was like, oh, Emily, shut the fuck up. Jen is my girl. Emily, I didn't hear Emily say shit. She's like, well, I read that your in-laws practically finance your entire life. So let me get back. I had to get that off me before I forgot it. So she said, and how did he get $16,000, $17,000, $1 million in his bank? He doesn't know it. What? So Shannon is like, listen, can you talk about this shit? Cause you ain't cool to talk about no open case. Wow, your shit is open. You don't need to be talking about this shit. And she's like, no, it's good. It happened 7, 8 months ago, and I already know about. Well, when you said you already knew about, when we kept talking about SBI, why was you looking like you ain't know? Bitch, cause it was an investigation. Why she got to tell you when we was hey go Tamera, when we was saying about the FBI and investigation, you was acting like you didn't know what we was talking about. She was like, Tamera said, if I get $10,000 in my I'll make a note mobile notice. And Jenny jumps in and she said, why did he go there 20, 32 times? And Jenny said, stop talking. She looked at Jen, she said, stop talking. And I'm like, I'm not cashing the chips in. He spent 12 million, and his criminal he did something wrong. She said, "Well, it's the opposite of what I read." That's Emily. Well, that's the opposite of what I read. I read he was all up in it. You know what, Jen? If you just told me, like she the fucking judge, if you just told me that Ryan, he's a good guy, he made a few mistakes, I would have more respect for you. Jen was like, I ain't gotta tell you shit. Oh, Emily, she don't owe you shit. Who the fuck do she got to get your respect for? You can't even stop eating. You always got to be this Tammy whining. Stand by your man. You practice that, Reed. That sucked. It did not land good. Did not land well at all. So she was just. I think I'm at the end of this shit now, y'all. Patient, digging around. That shit was so funny. It's all it wasn't, Heather. Damn, Heather says she got no credibility. Next week look like it's gonna be good. Yep, I think I covered everything. Emily got on my damn nerves. I just read. That's what you need to do. You need to stop sitting your ass around reading and eating the paper. Eating the paper. Stop sitting your ass around eating and reading up on people's shit, man. I've read about it extensively. You know more about it than Andy. He the goddamn host. I can tell you all about it. You were just getting ready for this. Ready. So anyway, Katy, you got your ass handed to you, girl. Woo, woo. But don't do that shit. Don't do that. Ain't you? Don't do that. Ain't nobody gonna put your big panties on and sit your ass up there and deal with your shit like you have been dealing in all your confessionals. Just go with the flow. You the youngest, and you got to get your credibility back because you got 3 women up there thinking you a fucking liar. Yeah. And kind of like us too, because you said that your friend said it was Heather, but now somebody that was close, which means you was still digging. And this will happen a whole fucking season that didn't have this happened a whole season before you came. So You better leave that alone. You don't look like you got that many friends except for Jen. And like I said, I appreciate Jen sticking up for you. She was like, damn, y'all, can y'all get off her back just a little bit and let her ass breathe? Can she breathe? Just a little bit. So anyway, this shit was off the chain, but I'm going to tell you who I'm waiting for. That Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I can't wait to see Mary, y'all. Ooh, she gonna be funny. So anyway, listen, you could have been anywhere, but you was here with me for 45 minutes, and you know I love it. I'm sorry I kept y'all so long. I had so many sidebars, and it ain't really been nothing good on TV to really watch. But I know I will be back out of late tonight because I'm going to watch, I believe, Bell Collective. And they got this thing on called Eat Something and Pray. And it's Eva and some other, it's like three black women. They're going to Taiwan. I think of all the places to go. If I was going to go to Taiwan, I'd probably just go shop or buy me some semiconductor chips because they cheap as hell over there. But I don't know. I might try to watch it. If they got the whole season in there, I think I'll watch it. It's supposed to be on Peacock. And then, tomorrow is Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me just stay out of them streets over there and just stick to So anyway, I don't have no more information. Oh, except I forgot to tell y'all that Jen said that she was planning her wedding for next June and that everything worked out with her and Ryan. And I bet that shit just pisses all of them off, that especially Tamera. Yeah, so anyway, um, have a good one. And it's the weekend. Woohoo! Have a good one, y'all. See you later.